One thing I want to cover is normally, as you know, if you get the score prediction right, we read your name out and it gets on the screen. We've neglected that over the last month, and it's my fault. It's my fault. My fault. My fault.
Subscribe to Giles and Steve.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another match preview. This one is for Saturday's game. Games are coming thick and fast. It's Sunderland versus Reading at the Stadium of Light.
Right. Indeed.
But before we kick things off, we'll talk briefly about last night, as obviously it was a very late game. Sunderland, listen, we were unlucky last night. The lads showed rare character. They fought till the very end. They didn't know what I really enjoy about this team, Stephen. They didn't know when they're beaten, which is a really good sign. Obviously, Fulham's qualities just did shine in the end, and they did take the chances. But all in all, I was very impressed with them.
But yeah, they took the chances. At points in the game, you could see that they were why they're in the top of the Premier League, because they have got decent players and they play some good football. But personally, just like Mowbray said last night, I think all three of their goals could have been avoided, especially the last two. It was a bit sloppy defending.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I haven't noticed it. But apparently, Danny Barton, in his interview, he said he got fouled in the lead up to their third goal. So, but we're not going to talk about the referee because he gave us an out last night. It was shambolic.
No,
but focusing on the important point, and that is the Sunderland players last night. Bunch of young lads. Our starting lineup only had two players over the age of 22 on, and that shows how well we must be gelling, how well Mowbray has got them playing, and because there used to be a lot of focus on, God, how young is Sunderland squad? How young is Sunderland squad? Now it's how well is Sunderland squad playing? Because they're young, even though they're young and things like that. We're playing decent football. Last night, some of the football was a joy to watch.
Oh, it really
was. I mean, I got home and re-watched it, like flicked through the match. I was sitting on me, said, "Hey, have me cup of tea, warming myself up." And you'd say, I mean, if Roberts was getting paid £1,000 for every Megs, he'd be able to retire now. He was. Some of the football was a joy to watch.
Talking about Robert, Stephen, what I want to see from Roberts on Saturday is consistency in his game now, because he's shown with the two legs against Fulham especially that he can perform on a higher level than what he has been in recent games. So I expect to see the Roberts who played last night, the same player against Reading. Yeah. And he has been linking up really well with the likes of Ahmad and Hugh. Obviously, we all know that. Ahmad was good last night and all.
Shot cleared off the line.
But did you see how many nutmegs he done when he had that shot?
Yeah.
Three. The two players and the goalie.
Roberts had a shot which the keeper pulled off an amazing save from. Ahmad had one cleared off the line. There was another one where we should have scored. But that was in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
I know.
You know what I mean? So they had chances like that, but they put theirs in.
They did.
We had chances like that, but they managed to keep it out. Exactly. And that was just the rub of the green, really.
It was just the quality as well. Clark, in my opinion, that was probably the best performance I've seen in Clark in a Sunderland shirt.
I wouldn't say that. It was the best in a while. It was definitely the best in a while.
I'd probably say it was the best, in my opinion. But you might say a while. I thought he was mental, wasn't he?
Well, he had a good game. He was tracking back. He was getting his tackles in, and he was confident when running with the ball. And that finish was tremendous.
Exactly.
It was a great first touch to turn and just bent it around in the top ends. Brilliant. And I was over the moon for Jevy Bennett. The ball fell. He was a bit lucky the way it fell because their defender fell out. But the keeper was rushing out. Another defender was flinging his body into him, and he just left foot curled it, and that went top in. So happy days.
I noticed he was very disappointed at the full-time whistle as well, Benoe, because even he thought that there was a chance that we could have got that equaliser.
Of course there was. There was 10 substitutions came on. 10 substitutions came on, and there was 5 goals in the game. So how can there possibly only be 4 minutes at a time? And out of that 4 minutes, there was only 2.5 minutes football played.
And it was only 1-0 at half time.
Oh, it was ridiculous. So, like I said I wasn't going to mention him, but the referee it was shambolic last night.
He was.
And that was live on telly. So he should not be getting into the game at any level whatsoever.
And another one I want to mention. There's a few who've been played really good last night. And we'll mention quite a few, but Pritchard, his qualities further up the pitch.
He came on and
that's what
you could see it, yeah.
We missed it, haven't we? In recent games, we missed his quality. Obviously, there's a few you could have given mad at the match day in the Sunderland shirt, but Ballard won literally every ball.
Yeah.
Every ball he was clearing non-stop. And I like to see, for Bennett's assist, Bart playing centre-forward. It was Bart.
I was Bart who flicked it on because we were going for it. We were going for it. When Bart won the flick on, then like I say, it was a bit fortunate that their defender fell out, but it fell to Bennett, and you've got to be there.
You've got to be.
You've got to be there, and you've got to have the composure to produce a finish like that, and he did.
He did.
And after that performance last night, you can't help but say, be looking forward to seeing how we progress on for the next part. Exactly. Yes, we're missing a striker. Fulham weren't missing these strikers, and we had more chances and shots at goal than what they did. So all it showed, you're completely forgetting we actually do have a striker available. He just wasn't available last night.
So and apparently
Lahaji
last night, the reason he couldn't play
because we didn't sign him in time.
We die exactly. Some people were like questioning it. Right, they weren't questioning. They just didn't realise. They didn't say that information. We didn't think him in time for this game. But he might be available for Saturday's game against Reading. Dan Neil. Listen, Carney, he's a top draw player for me. I love watching him out the two legs.
Yeah.
He was. I know he's playing for the opposition, but he is
he's a good player.
A good player to watch. And he did pinch the ball a few times off Dan Neil, I noticed. But listen, Neil grew into the game just like the rest of the players did. For 25 minutes, Stephen, Fulham were on top, and it took us a while to get a foothold in the game. But once we did, we started playing some really, really good stuff.
Second half, we were the better team. And I've seen a lot of people giving Dan Neil stick. He got dispossessed by Premier League midfield a few times.
Exactly.
But that Premier League midfield also got dispossessed by Dan Neil a few times. And I love the fact that when he dispossessed them, he was driving forward and he was trying to create things in. He was very unlucky with a shot that just went wide. With like an out-swinging shot. But hey, it is what it is. We're not in the FA Cup anymore. It would have been nice, but I'm proud of the lads. The lads did us proud. We kept on going till the end. And there's a lot of positives to take from last night's game.
I know obviously it's a defeat, and that's the negative you can take out of that game. But you cannot really take that many negatives out of that performance.
No, you cannot.
Everyone, to a man, were outstanding. They fought for the shirt. They were gutted that it was full time, and they just wanted to get that equaliser. And that's what I'm really enjoying about them. The way they're up for it, and I cannot see that top six is out of sight for us because of the way they're playing. Yes, we haven't got our main man, our focal point, Ross Stewart, but Joe GELHART, is a striker. So you never know. Come Reading, we'll see how things are then.
For me, there's 3 negatives to take from last night. only one of them involves players, and that's their goals, especially in the second half. The defenders should have had them cleared. The reaction should have been quicker. And then the other 2 negatives, which is down to us, not us personally. It's been pointed out that there was Man United flags hanging in the Sunderland end. Now, whether it's because you're supporting Diallo or you put them there to support Man U in the cup final, behave. It just draws unnecessary attention and it gives them clowns down the road more ammunition to throw at us. They're already obsessed enough as it is, but if we keep giving them ammunition, they're going to keep on throwing it at us, okay? And the other one, which I know it's a personal thing and it's up to you, it's your own decision, people leaving early. 10 minutes till, as soon as they went 3-1 up, it was as if there was a fire drill. Everyone just got up and started leaving, and it looks, especially when you're on telly, it looks crap. It gives, and then you've missed a goal, you've missed a finish, like an important end of the game. It was
I do get where you're coming from, Stephen, and I'm one of them who didn't can, but I do understand why a few people do want to hurry up and get home early, especially if they live like the back end of DH or places like that.
Not with the deal on a Saturday now.
But it's personal preference.
And you can't see it's to beat the traffic because the traffic's still there an hour later. And you can't be that thirsty to want to get to the bar and bloody get a pint. Right. I know it's personal preference, right? And it's one of the things that really winds me up. And I know it winds other people up.
It winds him up. I'm not particularly.
If you're one of the ones that does leave early, it's no personal. It's just one of me petty.
It's just what he dislikes.
One more thing, which will lead us nicely on to Saturday. Funnily enough, Paul.
All right.
Mowbray, in my eyes, is going to have a massive headache for the centre part of midfield on Saturday. Because Michu, I thought, had a brilliant game. Dan Neil had a good game for most parts, and he's been playing brilliant all season. Barr played well. Ekwar came off the bench, and I thought he was a unit. He was putting himself about, and he was creating things from start to finish, and I think his physical presence could be invaluable. Richard came on, and he was creating things that he did on Saturday as well. So I think that middle part, the 2 holding, then the attacking midfielder, I think he's going to struggle with who he's going to go for.
He will have a headache. Initially made a good save, didn't he?
Yeah.
He made that first good save and then the ball just dropped him, it squared it, bang, in.
Well, he was getting a lot of credit for that. He didn't have a clue what was going on. He did well at keeping it in play. But they were getting, the vision was superb to find Pereira. He just kicked it in the mixer and it went in. Look, anyway.
I'm not talking about him in any way, I couldn't understand them. But like you say, moving on to Saturday, Stephen, obviously you've just mentioned there, Mowbray's going to have a massive headache, and I totally agree with you, he is. But
good headache though.
It's a good headache to have, but what does he do? Does he go with GELHART and then...
GELHART will definitely be starting, 100%.
But then who are you going to drop out from there, Bar?
Aye.
And then drop Ahmad further back into an attacking midfield role.
Well, that's what it's going to be a headache because Pritchard's come off the bench twice and he's been good.
He's been outstanding.
But you cannot drop Ahmad. You cannot drop Roberts. You cannot drop Clark.
That's the
So
thing.
it's going to be. I wouldn't be
It's gotta
surprised
be
if he might try and change the formation. We do not know, but he's got players that we want to see in the starting 11,
Right.
but you can't fit them all in the starting
No, you
11.
can't.
So that's why he's getting paid the
Bennett
big
get
bucks.
the goal as well.
I was how the Murray got a goal. Like,
I was. Well, I was seeing you in the stadium when we were doing our videos. Like, oh, I'd love it if he gets a goal
Yeah.
today. Like, and he did. He finished well, and it just showed you what it meant to him in his celebration. And he just wanted the game. And like I said earlier, full time. He just wanted to carry on. He was gutted it was full time. But nonetheless, Stephen, I still think this could be a hard game. You've got players who's going to be up for it for them, obvious reasons, and we'll get onto that in a minute. But it's still going to be a hard game on Saturday, and we're kind of taking these lightly just because we're putting a decent performance against Fulham. We've still got to perform, and if the D, I've got no doubt we'll beat these, because away from home, Reading aren't the best. They're down in 23rd. There's only Huddersfield below them, so
that's in away form, he means.
In away form, aye. Did I say at home?
No, you just said they're down in 23rd.
Oh no, just in away form, they're down in 25th. They're 16th in the league.
Now, Reading in the league this season, they've won 11, drew 5 and lost 13. Haven't won a league game since December 27th. So they'll be hungry to try and change that, obviously, as all teams will, who go on a bit of a slump. They have got players capable of doing things. They've got the joint third worst defence in the league at this stage in the season, conceding obviously the joint third most alongside Hull. But they have got a few players to watch, and they've got Tom Ince. This is the best season he's had under his daddy.
Even at Stoke, he's had better seasons than he did at Stoke.
Yeah, scored 7, got 4 assists. Then the second top goal scorer is Lucas Joao, however you pronounce his name. He's on 5 goals with no assists. And then the next 2 players to watch out for. One of them's on loan from the Barcodes, and the other one was born and bred a Barcode. Jeff Hendrick's on loan from them. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist. And Andy Carroll returns from his suspension, and he's got 4 goals this season, but he'll be up for it. And as much as everybody hates him, but he is a threat in the air. He really is.
Oh,
I know.
of course he is.
I'm happy with Ballard and Bart in centre half and their presence in the air, as long as it's them marking him, because the rest of the team's midgets like him.
What?
You heard.
Bastard. No, you're right though, Stephen. Getting back onto Reading, they haven't kept a clean sheet in 7. The D like conceded a few goals. In the last 2, they've conceded 6. They got battered away. When they played Stoke away, they got battered 4-0.
Who gets battered off Stoke 4-0?
4-0 and all. So, and also they drew the last game. It was a decent result 2-2 against Watford. I think Watford are 5th in the league now, so that was a decent result for them. They'll probably be coming here with a little bit of confidence after that. Obviously, Andy Carroll's coming back and all, which he's going to want to put in a performance, especially against us. And
he's a donkey though.
Like you said, Stephen, he's
still a threat.
He's dangerous. He's dangerous.
Still a threat,
especially in the air. He's
yeah.
He's good. He's good in the air. That's what more can we say about that? But like I say, Reading are down in 16th. So really, we should, if we can play like we did against Fulham, I have no doubt we're going to be winning this game.
Obviously, with Sunderland, Mowbray's got decisions to make, which we've already spoke about. It'll be interesting to see what he says in his press conference tomorrow, and very interesting to see what lineup and formation he goes with on Saturday. But that moves on to score predictions. Now, one thing I want to cover is normally, as you know, if you get the score prediction right, we read your name out and it gets on the screen. We've neglected that over the last month, and it's my fault, because of me being ill and being in hospital and not being at the videos and not being able to do as much. We've kind of neglected that, and for that we apologise.
But I'll let you off for that though.
You let us off. I hope they let us off.
But
from this game, we will be back on track. So, score predictions, get them in the comments below. If you get it right, the next game, you will have your name read out, and it will come flashing on the bottom of the screen, right on there. You know what I mean?
Might not.
No, it will. I've said it now, so it's going to happen. I'm going to give him more work to do.
I might do a few pop-up ones. I don't know along at the bottom. But no, you're right, Stephen. With that being said, Stephen, I predicted first last time. You can go first this time. Oh, no, you're going to see it. I think I do. I'll tell you if I get it right.
I'm going to go Sunderland 3-1.
Oh, that's exactly the scoreline I was going to go for.
Oh, I should have went first, shouldn't you?
Bollocks. Well, with that being said, Stephen, I'm going to go for Sunderland 3-0. Tom Ince, right? He's the one who's getting the goals. He scored 7, and the rest just dwindle away a little bit after that. But with our defence, like you were touching upon, Bart, absolute mountain. Ballard, man of the match for me last game against Fulham. I can see us keeping a clean sheet in the league.
I can see Donkey getting a goal. just because it's sod's law.
No.
He'll get a goal, he'll celebrate like mad, and he'll injure himself. Because that's what he does.
That's more than likely. He is mad at glass, but like you say, he's a threat now. If you're saying he'll score, there's a high possibility he will. Not just because you're saying it.
That's pretty much it for now. Look forward to seeing us on Saturday. We'll be at the Bob Stoker statue around about 2 o'clock, between 2 and 1:15. If you want to come along, say hello. If you want to get on the video, let us know. We'll get you on. Can you think of anything else to add, Paul?
Yes, hit the thumbs up.
Subscribe if you're new. How are the lads?